Hey folks, it's Patriot Nurse, and in today's segment I want to discuss an Ebola update with you and talk about some practical steps that we can do. My calculus has changed a bit since, number one, since we have two nurses who are now testing positive for Ebola and who are receiving treatment and care for this. What I want to do today is kind of pull the fear away. I'm not going to do epidemiological stuff here. I'm not going to talk about the nitty-gritty science behind it. You can do that by yourself, and there are plenty of articles that you can read. What I want to talk about today with you are the concrete steps that we can take here to decrease our overall risk factor and help us to thrive in the event of this thing going hot. Okay. So first off, let's look at our goals here overall for preparedness and talk about some ways that we can meet these challenges. Okay, first off, if in the contingency that Ebola, God forbid, spreads and becomes basically a catastrophe here in the United States. If it starts to spread, if it becomes airborne, officially it's not airborne yet. Officially, it's not airborne yet. But in the event that we are looking at this disease that has anywhere between a 50 to 70% mortality rate spreading here in the United States, we need to be able to do a couple things. First off, we need to be able to meet our needs outside of, number one, external assistance from the government, and number two, we need to be able to basically shelter in place. We need to be able to stay in our safe zone and not venture out if we can. Now, I realize that this is not an easy thing. At first, it might seem like, okay, we're just going to sit here and hunker down and not go anywhere. But here's the thing. I don't know about you guys, but going up and out to work, going to work each day, that definitely entails leaving the safe zone at some point. Okay, so let's pull the fluff away and let's talk about some real concrete steps that we can take right now to better safeguard our family in the eventuality of a straight up epidemic here in the United States. Okay, first off, we need to be able to meet our water and food needs at home, period. Okay, what I would really encourage you guys to do, number one, is have at least a week's worth of water for everyone in your house. That is not an easy feat, especially if you have children and decent sized families. Okay. Also, we need to be able to have at least a month's worth of food, period. At least a month's worth, okay? Why am I saying a month's worth of food and 1 week's worth of water? Because it's a lot easier and it's less storage space to store a month's worth of food versus a month's worth of water. That is a lot. That's a lot. But what I want to encourage you guys to do is to have a way to filter your water, okay? You need to have that bad boy running. I have 2 Berkeys, and I'll put a link down in the description box below to the methods that I use to purify my water. I got 2 of those running at any given time. 2 is 1, 1 is none, okay? You need to be able to make sure that you can meet your food and water needs without having to go to Walmart, without having to go into the cesspool of humanity where everybody sits there and congregates and swaps germs, okay? So let's make sure that we have the ability to do that. And I recognize that money is really tight right now for a lot of people, but if you're not able to meet a month, if you're not able to meet 2 months, just do as best as you can. Okay, I recognize that folks, people are hurting right now for sure, but just do as best as you can. Okay, that's the beans portion here. Okay, the bullets thing, we can talk about that at some point later. If people start to, especially in the event of an epidemic, okay, this is the series of events that we're looking at here. In the event of an epidemic, you're going to see shortages, you're going to see runs on food. When there are runs on food, people are going to get violent. That's just how it is. I don't know that guns are going to come out and weapons are going to come out, but I want to be prepared for that contingency. Ideally, I would not want to go and put myself in that situation. But you need to make sure that you have the ability to defend yourself and your family, okay? The third point here is of the beans, bullets, and band-aids, the band-aids portion. While it is very nice to have protective equipment, personal protective equipment, that's half the battle, guys. Having supplies is not going to help you unless you know how to use it. I really, really want to encourage you to come out to class. And this is me looking at you right now saying, come out to class, because it's not just about how much stuff you've got in your high-speed operator medical kit, okay? Skills are really important here, especially when we're looking at managing disease at home. And I'm not talking about managing Ebola at home. That's not what I'm talking about. Let me elaborate on something. Okay, so I think it was on the Today Show. There was a nurse who, might I add, at great peril to her career and her licensure potentially, came on public television said, hey, look, we didn't talk about this. Basically, she was highlighting the inefficacy of the hospital and of the protocols under which Mr. Duncan, patient 0, Mr. Duncan was treated, and subsequently the 2 nurses have tested positive at this point, have become infected, okay? This nurse highlighted something very, very important, and God bless her, wherever she is. If she sees me, God bless you, darling. She said that if she could avoid going into the hospital for care, that she would. Now, there's a point to this, okay? Specifically when it comes to the ER, guys, okay? Even if we're not talking about, somebody we love catching Ebola, it could be influenza. We're fixing to get into influenza season right now. It could be influenza. It could be a digestive disease. Anytime that you have to go into the ER and sit there and wait, you're swapping germs with all those people there. The ER is the last place that I want to be in the event of an epidemic, for sure. The hospital is the last place I want to be anyway. Hospitals are where people go to die. If you can avoid being there because you have the ability, the knowledge and the skills, and arguably the supplies to take care of people at home, that is going to serve you no matter what. Okay, so let me encourage you to come out to class. Seriously, come out to class. Even if it's not with me that you train with, just go and get some training somewhere. Okay, that's the medical supplies aspect of things. Okay. So the next portion here that I want to cover with you guys is what we can do now preemptively on a personal health level to decrease our overall risk of contracting Ebola. Okay. At this point, I totally just lost my earring. That's really funny in the midst of a heavy video. Hold on one sec. Maybe that'll be an outtake, but there's a lot of me that's like, no, maybe I should just leave it. Maybe I should just leave it and add a little bit of levity to the situation. Okay. So, where shall I go? Okay. At this point, Ebola is not spread officially through airborne means, okay? It's spread through direct contact, right? With body fluids going onto a skin or getting in somewhere. That is how it has officially been known to spread at this point, okay? What we really need to focus on to mitigate our risk for needing to go to the hospital and potentially contract something else, you've got to focus on your health, guys. If you've been putting it off, if you've been putting off getting on a probiotic, if you've been putting off taking green vibrance, which I'll put a link down here in the description box below. I love it. I take it every day. It's marvelous. Helps your immune system for sure. Helps meet trace mineral deficiencies in your body. If you have been putting off taking care of yourself nutritionally, for sure, you can't do that anymore. I'm looking at you right now and I'm telling you right now, you got to get your health squared away now. Right now. The time to take care of your health is before you need your health to actually function, right? We need our immunities to be functioning very well right now. So let me encourage you, please, please, please eat well, take care of yourself, and I beg you, get good rest. It is a discipline. It is not easy for a lot of people to get good quality sleep, but you need to make that a priority, okay? If you are running low on sleep, low on energy, your immune system is going to be taxed, and we need our immune systems right now to be functioning with like heavy hitting 50 cows, if you will. I want my immune system right now to be going in with an Abrams when it comes to facing some of the potential threats that we do, okay? Make sure that you're squared away nutritionally, okay? And consider Green Vibrance or some other probiotics and health supplements. I'll put a link down in the description box below to what I take every day, okay? But also be religious about washing your hands. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Seriously. Please, when you get home, the first thing that you do, drop your shoes, drop your stuff, drop it. Drop it right there. Go in and wash your hands. And be diligent with your kids. Be diligent with folks who are out and who go out in public a lot, okay? When you come into your house, the first thing you need to do is to check your stuff at the door and go wash your hands. But ideally, we need to be washing them throughout the day, okay? With soap and water. Ideally. Okay. So really this video has 3 facets of approaches here. Number 1, get your beans, bullets, and band-aids squared away now. Okay. Number 2, make sure that you're squared away, your body's squared away nutritionally and that you're taking care of yourself. But 3, let me tell you what I do. Okay. I don't have the ability, because of what I do, because I'm traveling every 2 weeks to go and teach, I don't have the ability to segregate myself away from the general populace in many cases, right? I have to go up and fly and go train and go teach people. Okay, so what do I do when I'm in the airport? First off, I carry a bottle of thieves oil with me. It's generic thieves, which I'll put a link down in the description box below. And I dilute it and I'll put it on my wrists, put it behind my ears, and I'll put a straight up drop on my scarf. I keep my neck warm. Keep your neck warm whenever you're traveling, because that's where a lot of the malevolent nasties like to sit here when you get, lovely viruses, etc. They love this part of your body right here, the upper respiratory tract. So I'll put a drop of thieves oil on my scarf and I'll breathe it. When I get on that plane, I'm breathing it like crazy. But also, if you get on planes, like, just try as best as you can, if you have like some sanitary wipes, wipe the handles of the seats next to you as best as you can. Try and limit the amount of contact, physical contact, that you have with high traffic areas like the bathroom, or shutter on a plane, the bathroom, the handles for your seats, the overhead bin hinges, right? Just try and like not touch them if you can. That's not easy, but I'm just giving you some practicals here. This is what I do, because I have to, I have to be up and out and going to do stuff. Let me say this about class, because I've had to think ahead about this a bit. If you're considering coming to class, do not delay. Yeah, don't delay and come into class. If there is, for whatever reason, God forbid, a federal directive that transport is halted, mass transit is halted, curtailed, or limited, it may affect my ability to get up and go out and teach. So, that being said, I'm teaching in White Plains, not this weekend, but next weekend, October 25, 26, and Lakeland, Florida, in the middle of December. It's a Friday, Saturday class, okay? And those are the last two for this year. So, if you're thinking, maybe I should, this is your chance. Do it now. And clearly I want people to come out. I want you to train. But in the event that airlines are not able to run flights, then I will not be able to go out and train people. So if you're on the fence, do it now. Do it now. So in a nutshell here, guys, pay attention to your nutrition, pay attention to your beans, bolts, and band-aids. Try and shoot for being able to be self-sufficient. What I don't want for you guys, what I don't want is you having to get up and out and go to Walmart with the horde of people who could potentially be carrying stuff. I don't want that to happen. What I also don't want to happen is your family is sick, and because you don't know how to deal with it, you end up having to go to the ER for something you otherwise wouldn't have, okay? And if you go to the ER, you may be fine when you go in, but you run the risk of potentially contracting something from people who are sick and in need of emergency assistance, okay? So this is what I really want to focus on with you guys. And let's do this together, okay? I know that this is a lot of information. I know that right now there are a lot of people who are very concerned. And what I want to do here is to kind of pull the emotion away for a second and be clear and rational and decisive about this. Your homework for this video, if you will, your homework for this video, I want you to sit down and I want you to look at where you're deficient. Water filtration, food stored up, taking care of yourself nutritionally. I want you to look at where you're deficient, okay? And then I want you to take steps to address that in some way. Some of you may end up going and buying food or water. Some of you may end up coming to class. Some of you may end up searching out, other ways to meet some of your needs, okay? But what I want you to do is to figure out something that you can do here concretely based on what we've talked about today, and go do it, okay? Go do it. Be decisive. Stay frosty. Stay frosty about it and go do it. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I'm going to try and do as many updates as I can. Physically, I've had some challenges in the past few weeks for sure. I'm running a little bit low, which is why I'm really trying to take care of myself. So I hope it was helpful for you guys. If you enjoyed the video today, please subscribe to me, like me on Facebook, and follow me on Twitter. Also, check it. Come to class. Right here, you get a lovely colored handout here from Medical Prep 101 and 201. Come out October 25th and 26th is White Plains, New York. And December is Lakeland, Florida, and I got some more classes up on the website. Check it all out, the website, the course descriptions, everything is there. ThePatriotNurse.com, and I hope to see you guys in class. Come out to class. Love to put some good hours in working with you guys. I hope it was helpful for y'all, and for now, it's Patriot Nurse signing off, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.